Hey everybody, this is Alzorath, and welcome to another bonus episode of Diablo 2. Today we're taking a look at small charms. Yes, there's going to be 256 small charms simply because they fit a little better in the inventory. You may notice I've organized them by their little design. It just makes me a little bit happier to do it this way, so that's kind of how we're going to be doing it. I've got 80 on each of the mules, and then I have the last... the last 16 on my Magic Find character. But anyway, we're going to go through and identify these. You can see over on the left the things that we're actually looking for on small charms. These are the most optimal things on small charms. I'm not sure whether I'm going to list all the charms as far as like which ones are best for what, but just know that the ones I'm looking for on the left are actually where these are the most slot efficient. You can actually still get good charms that are not the most slot efficient, but just have good stats on them. For example, you could have the 3-20-20 on the small charms, which is plus 3 max damage, 20 attack rating, and 20 life. That means you are optimizing for life, because life is top on the small charms. You can get 20 per slot versus 15 per slot for grand and 17.5 per slot for large. And yeah, you're optimizing for life, but you're still getting maximum damage and attack rating. It's kind of floaty around that. You can still get good charms that are not optimal, as long as you get what I'm saying. But let's go ahead and identify these. These are all from Hell difficulty. These are all from mostly, I'm going to say most of them are from Act 1 and Act 4, because that's where I do a lot of my magic finding, and that was a magic find charm right there. Sweet. And a lot of them are from Act 1 and Act 4, because that's where I do most of my magic finding. I also find a... Ooh, that's not bad either. I also find a lot of magic finding in... Act 5, I find a lot of charms there for some reason. Mostly probably because whenever I'm running, that's actually not a bad one either for a single resistance 16 life. But I do a bit more as far as finding charms in Act 5 down in the Worldstone Keep, because you have a lot of ghosts and stuff down there, and that's a pretty good source of charms and jewelry and stuff like that, because they drop a little bit differently than other enemies. They tend to have more junk rolls, which do include charms. So yeah, that's not too bad. And you can also get runes from them pretty easily as well. So yay. And also you can run across, for some reason I have a history of running across a lot of flares in Worldstone Keep. So yeah, I get a lot of drops from them as well, just because I go in at players 3 to, I believe, usually about 7 is whenever I kind of cap it off in Worldstone Keep. I don't tend to do players 8 down there because, well, I'm not really interested in that. But yeah, we're not doing too bad on these charms so far. But yeah, these are all Hell difficulty charms. We are looking through and seeing if we can actually get anything halfway decent. I have 80 identified tomes on each person. I think I counted correctly with as far as the actual... whatchamacallits. There are some 99 charms in here as well. If I do have some 99 charms in here, I will probably put them on the mule that I'm going to actually have for, like, you can download the character. I'm going to put on the mule the level 99 charms as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to indicate which ones they are, but I should be able to, like, note it whenever I put the file on Discord. That's not bad either. That would actually be a good one for our brand Necromancer to do a little bit of fire damage, or for a brand Paladin. And yes, I will stop and actually look through these in a little bit more detail after we get done identifying them. It does take a little while to actually get through all of them. Ooh, that's not a bad one either. If you're doing like a poison damage necro. I wouldn't really use that on a Venom assassin, just because, well, due to how Venom works, it still does damage. It does help the damage, but it's like all poison is limited to that 2-second thing whenever you're running a Venom. So there's our... Okay, so I think we might have skipped over a couple. I will double check just to make sure. Can we actually finish identifying these? This is going to take a little while to identify because it is 256 of these little buggers. I do like certain designs of charms more than others, and I know that's kind of stupid to say, but it's just a little quirk of mine. And if we have any scrolls left over, that means that we did it wrong and we skipped one, so I'm going to have to like look through them and actually find it, because yeah, it's kind of hard to keep track of which ones you've done whenever you are under-leveled. Where's the one that's not identified? There's literally one that's not identified in this entire thing. It's probably hiding in here. I should have exactly 80 charms on this character. It's going to be one of the red ones, which really narrows it down. I've probably skipped over it, but let's go ahead and look at the charms while we're looking. There's the one unidentified one. There we go. But anyway, attack rating, you can get okay attack rating on a small charm. Attack rating, you can get, I'm wanting to say it's 38.5 per slot, or is it 36 per slot for us? No, attack rating's a little lower than that. But no, we can actually get steel. Never mind. I keep forgetting about that. So anyway, small charm, +1 strength, not too good. Generally, if I'm going for stat charms, I'm going to get large charms because they just get so many more points per slot. So it's just way, way, way better to have those with like a good secondary thing. So I don't usually bother with them unless they have really good mods. So far, not too bad. I mean, not too good, sorry. We got the 5% magic find one here, which is decent. Let's go ahead and throw out our tomes so we actually have a little bit of room to move things around. I can buy more. I have plenty of gold to shift them around. So we've got a 5% magic find charm, which is not a bad magic find charm. I would use it every now and then. We got attack rating and poison damage, which also is not terrible. Faster hit recover. This is actually life and fire resist is not a bad combo. It's not going to get you a lot of money, but if you're lacking fire resist, like say you're using the Andariel mask, it's not too bad. This one's kind of like a low end damage and attack rating charm. It's got 20 life on it, which is good, but it has lower end on the max damage and attack rating. We got a bunch of just normal resist charms. This one I might consider if I had a lack of poison resist, but a lot of my characters are just overwhelming on poison resist. Faster hit recovery and fire resist. This would actually be good for kind of like while you're leveling up a character, kind of moving them through. Let's see. Nothing good so far on that little pass. Nothing too... the one of storms, mediocre. I don't actually have the elemental damage. Oh yeah, I do have the elemental damage ones on here. So anyway, this one's actually not a terrible elemental damage, but it's not great either. You can get lightning damage up to pretty significant amounts. Inertia charms are good to just keep around in case... I usually use them whenever I'm playing a character off screen. Like if I'm going to be leveling up a character or something like that. I like faster run walk so I can get to where I want to be. 3 to 6 cold damage, not too great. I don't actually have the numbers for the elemental damage on me right now, so I'm not going to like say for sure what the high end of those is. Another crappy find. Let's see, 6 to 11 fire damage. That one would actually be decent on, like I said, our brand necromancer because that adds an okay amount of fire damage. It's not the best one. There is a higher one, but that higher one can only drop from Bale. I think it's... I'm trying to remember the actual name of it, but there is one that's like super high damage. It can only drop on eye level 99 charms, and I will probably look and see which ones these are eye level 99, and I'll note them whenever I upload it. This one's not bad, actually, if you're going for a poison necromancer. There are better poison charms, but it works. It's got 100 poison damage over 5 seconds. You stab something with it, it's okay. 24 defense. You can get better defense on Grand Charms. Grand Charms seem to be your good ones for attack rating and defense. And there's our Steel Small Charms. 27 attack rating on it. Not great, not terrible. It's okay. This is on the higher end of what you can get for a... Actually, I think it's a little bit under what you can get for a small charm. I think you can get up to 36 on them, I believe. So, let's see. Lightning resistant life. Yeah, kind of trash on those. We're probably going to run into a lot of trash on this because, well, we're just going through the charms. That's a good Magic Find charm. That would be a decent one to just use. 1% Magic Find, especially whenever you start getting to the higher end, is not going to make a big difference. There's another fire damage one. I'm keen to keeping those out for my own purposes. They probably won't make it into the final cut because we do have 256 of these, and there's mana and Magic Find. So that's pretty much all we got on this character. Let's go ahead and get ready to jump to the next character. But... yeah, some of these I'm keeping aside just for specifically for my other characters, but other ones I'm going to be going with on, let's see, let's go for you. You're the last completely organized one. So, yeah, I do like to kind of keep some aside for that, but I will be uploading the 88 best out of 256. If you see ones that aren't on that one, tell me. I do keep these for a little while after recording these, so you can actually get into... and you can get one of them that you really need if you're kind of like trying to find it like that. These are open Battlenet, not closed Battlenet. So no, you're not going to be able to... That's actually... these are charms that people really underappreciate. You can get mana and life on pretty much any of the charms. The large charms get the best mana, the small charms get the best life. So depending on which one you're looking for. But those are really good charms, especially if you have percent increases. So... yeah, you want plus mana for percent increases, not just plus energy. So there's reasons for that. That's actually a good resist charm. That is resist all, which is 5% for this. I'm thinking, yeah. Let's go ahead and just keep moving through that. Generally speaking, resist all for small charms is good. It's not something you want to kind of shrug off. That wouldn't be bad for a melee sorceress. But yeah, there are. I'll include all the numbers and stuff over there on the left, so you guys can actually get the specifics you're looking for. If I forget one, just tell me and I'll include it in the comment. There's another really good one. That's your perfect small charm of good luck. Magic Find is the most, well, not the most sought after thing, but it is optimal on the small charms. I want to say it's 7 for slot for the small charm. It's 3 for slot and 4 for slot for, I want to say grand and large. Yeah, I just have it on the notes in there. It's kind of confusing. I made the notes long before recording this because I wanted to have it out for the grand charms, and I forgot to put up the little sidebar on it. So, yay! And in case you're wondering, that sidebar you see on the left is not the thing I see whenever I'm actually recording these. That sidebar on the left is there for just basically showing off what we're looking for, or in the case of the build ones, it shows off what we're kind of optimizing for. What I have is a tiny little notepad. So, hey, 3% faster run walk. Now, there is a thing about these faster run walk things. Let's go ahead and just double check that we're still on path for just getting to these. But yeah, the thing about these is, if I remember correctly, there was a bug in a previous version that made them 5% faster run walk. So they used to be, I don't know whether it's still actually 3% run walk for them, but they displayed 5%. So that is one of the reasons why you'll see some discrepancy there. The 5% can't drop in the latest version. So yeah, you'll see those. We're getting a lot of stat charms for some reason, which is fine, but yeah, all in a row, lovely. 14 mana. 5% faster hit recovery is a decent one to get. It does have a fairly decent level requirement, unfortunately. But like I said, those are pretty good if you're needing the faster hit recovery. If you're trying to like get a character that has really shit recovery with the current setup, and you're trying to make it semi-decent, that is a good thing to have. Breakpoints are a weird thing. You have to actually reach the breakpoint for that to be useful. 5% if you're in between breakpoints and it doesn't reach a new one, not going to make a difference. And some breakpoints are like hundreds of % apart. So yeah, you kind of got to keep on your toes about that. And it doesn't look like we got too many amazing ones in this particular batch. That one's not terrible. 20 defense, 19 life. That would be good for a Defiance Paladin. That is a very niche build, but it can be kind of fun to kind of mess around with. You can get up to insane amounts of defense. Unfortunately, defense does not help you against magic attacks. It only helps you against like physical and like missile attacks like bows and stuff like that. And I think we might have actually gotten it right this time with identifying everything. We'll scroll through, and I didn't see anything that really stood out to me. I mean, we had the 7% magic find one, and the life mana split. That's not perfect on either of them, but it's decent. So I would actually end up using that on some characters who I just need raw life and mana for. And also, the bottom row beneath Skiller Charms, I'll sometimes put those in there if I don't need resists. We got the resist all 5. We got the 7% magic find, which is not bad. Got several hit recovery ones, which are just generally good charms to keep a handful of. We got stat charms like all across the bottom there. Let's see, more hit recovery. Cold resist, 11%. For single resists, small charms, if I remember correctly, can get up to 15% per slot. So yeah, they are optimal for that, but only if you get the really high-end ones. Strength and mana might be worth keeping. That's one of those situations where it's not really the best for either one, but it's still decent, and it does fit into one slot. That's another thing you can actually take into account whenever you're doing the charms, is small charms are actually way easier to work into the your inventory. And you can see this one's not perfectly split because I only had so many of each thing. So let's go ahead and let's identify in here again. We'll go through the same pattern. Another faster hit recovery, not too amazing. 25 defense and 2 strength. That would be okay for a Defiance Paladin as well. Give you a little bit of easier time getting those heavier armors, although you don't generally need to go super heavy on the armor on those. You generally just need to use an elite armor. For the most part, the defense difference between them is not that massive. So And that's something a lot of people don't realize. A lot of the elite items, not exceptional, but that's a weird one. We must have gotten a 2-2 on that. But yeah, that's so weird. Anyway, let's just go and keep moving through there. I'll have to look up at that one. That's a strange one. But yeah, Defiance Paladin, you don't... Oh, that one is actually a good 7%er. That would be, again, extra defense. 7% with a good mod on it is decent, and if you have percent defense increase, that would actually be really good. Good for, like, say, a Zealot who's you're doing Magic Find with, or a Barbarian or something like that, where actually plus percent defense is a thing that you can actually consider. So let's go and just keep moving along. Nothing too amazing in the first 20. But yeah, I was on a thought around there. But yeah, small charms are actually a little bit more valuable in my head, simply because they fit into the inventory better. Yeah, you could have like optimized per slot for, and that's actually good attack rating on that. But you could have optimized per slot on the, whatchamacallits, the Grand Charms, but you can't turn Grand Charms sideways. So it's not going to be that amazing, it's just going to be okay. So let's go ahead and see if we can actually get onto the road that I was intending. Faster run walk with some fire resist, not bad. Not great fire resist on it, so it's not exactly something that's worth really keeping or really worrying about. Faster run walk with poison damage and mana. I'm not too impressed with this batch. I think so far we've gotten some decent Magic Find charms. We've gotten some decent other ones, and yes, I'll include all the Magic Find charms in the downloadable character. It's up to you to transfer it, but I'd recommend either Go Mule or a second computer. But for the second computer thing, you do need 2 keys, so keep that in mind. How you get those keys is not my problem. But anyway, let's go ahead and look at that. Ooh, 7 defense and 7 life. It's not that great. I just oohed for no reason. We'll identify the round ones last. Fire resist, lightning, cold, a little bit more lightning damage. We're getting some lightning damage ones, and that's leading me to want to make another build more and more. I want to make a melee sorceress that's just kind of there for basically... Oh, there's another 7%. So we've gotten a few 7% on this one. That's actually a good thing. Of course, with 256 of them, I was kind of expecting it. Poison damage and better chance of getting magic items again. Not too bad. We're getting a lot of our faster hit recoveries, so that's kind of meh. So let's see. How are we looking? Another Magic Find one. So yes, I'm going to include the ones that are over 5%. If I include some of the lower ones, it's just because we didn't find anything that was too amazing. I'll probably include a couple of the stat ones. Ooh, and we're getting a string of 4%. Ugh. So 1-2 fire damage. I want high fire damage on these, but I don't have that many level 99 ones. The level 99 ones are going to be a bit of a chore, so I think I have a few in here, because I know I've gotten some from Bale, but I don't remember whether I identified them right away or not. So that's all from that. Nothing too amazing in there. We got some 7% magic finds, and we'll go through the last little batch here, which is going to be the last 16, I believe. Yeah, 16 on you. And yes, I have swapped out my tomes for it. It's not a big deal. 5% magic find. Can we get something decent? This would actually be kind of sad if we actually had the last one in here. But yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to get to anything too amazing. I think that's a 4% magic find. On the mule character, whenever I make for this, I'll throw a cube on it, and I'll just go ahead and do it that way. I'll put any level 99s in the cube, and then I'll put all the rest of the ones that are decent in the actual inventory. Because re-rolling 99s on these, if you're looking for something specific, is not a terrible thing, but only do it if you have a lot of extra perfect gems. Otherwise, you're going to be disappointing yourself. So yeah, we got kind of crap on this last little batch here. A little bit more lightning damage. For the melee sorceress I'm thinking of, basically it'd be the equivalent of a sorceress version of Avenger Paladin. So that's what you'd be running. So you'd be running enchant and stuff instead of auras. But yeah, it's not too terrible. We got 1-26, 1-24, a lot of those. I wouldn't have minded some dual lightnings. But you can see we've got a lot floating around there. Might include a few of them if you guys want to play around with that. But that is all 256 small charms. That took forever to actually go through. Oh, and I got myself a better Tall Roshes, if you guys are wondering. Yay! But yeah, if you found this at all useful, and best place to farm for charms, by the way, going to be Council. It's going to be Council's amazing for farming for them. I find ghosts to be really good for farming for them, and I've also gotten a lot just from just like random enemies. Flayers are good because you have a lot of them, and one nice thing about finding charms is you don't need magic find to get them. Unless you're looking specifically for Geeds, you don't need a magic find boost because they're all going to be magical regardless, so just make more items drop and you'll get more charms. You want to generally hunt in the higher level areas like level 85, like down in the pits in Act 1 if you're having trouble farming other places. That's a really good spot to actually farm for charms. Also, there's the Mausoleum and the Crypt, which are 83 and 85 eye level areas, which can get you a lot of good small charms and large charms and grand charms. So yeah, there's a lot of places to farm for charms. Grand charms you can get mid-nightmare until whenever, usually. Small charms you generally want to be farming hell for and get a good eye level on them, so you can actually get the higher level mods because they have a higher level eye level requirement. So that is an important thing to keep in mind. Even some of them are even level 99, which means Bale is the only one that can drop them. So that's why I'm including the level 99 cube. So keep gaming, have fun, peace out. This has been Alzorath, and I will see you guys next time on Diablo 2.